secret location in the city that moves mountains.
Greetings.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Yes, you are. How you doing today, my friend?
Man, now that I've been able to sit down and catch my breath for a minute, it's been a busy day, but I'm doing well, my friend. How about you?
I am doing good. You've had one of those days too, huh?
I mean, I drove about 400 miles today, got a whole bunch of stuff to build Honest Rebecca thoughts, one big bat PC. So she can do all of her Twitch and streaming stuff.
Good. So you're actually going to build the PC yourself?
No, my buddy's actually building it right now because that's what he does.
Okay.
But, I wasn't going to. He's teaching me some of that stuff because, I mean, if it's an IBM or a Dell, your normal off-the-shelf computer, I can do whatever you got to do to it. But that's where my extent stops. I don't know how to do any of that fancy, schmancy stuff. Her brother does it. My buddy does it. So
right.
I'm that guy.
Yes. Welcome into Here to Chew Bubblegum on the radio. We have a special guest for this episode, and I'm talking about Mr. Seth Ambergy from Seth's Daily Podcast. Welcome, Seth.
How are we doing, Seth?
How's it going, man? How are you guys doing this evening?
Doing good. I myself, I've had a busy day like Dirty Dan. I've not been building computers or doing anything constructive. I have been sitting around in my underwear, eating Cheetos and watching Netflix.
Oh, God, I'm so jealous.
How you doing, Dirty Dan?
Brother, I am whooped, but I am excited because we are doing this radio show yet again this week.
Yes, we are. And we have a lot of big news coming up. We're not going to drop it on you all at once. In segment 3, I'm going to make a very special announcement dealing with a new segment on the show in a couple of weeks.
We got to wait till the third segment.
Yes. You have to stick around for that, but it's going to be worth it because it's ear candy to the extreme.
All right, I guess I'll stick around.
And we also have some other big announcements coming up. You want to be sure to tune in to the podcast next Sunday. Actually, when you're hearing this, to check that out.
There you go.
Several announcements. We're going to start out with some listener email. Dirty Dan, I'll let you start. And Seth, after we read each email, you being a guest, I'll let you give your opinion on some of the email that asks questions, and then we'll jump in. So, Dirty Dan, take it away.
All right. First email this week we got is from Last Name Sloan. It says, hey guys, last week's radio show and the roundtable show was awesome. You guys have really stepped up your game.
Well, thank you very much, Last Name Sloan. Seth, what's your comment on that email?
My comment is that people love it that you guys are talking about stuff that a lot of people don't have the guts to talk about and stuff, man.
Well, thanks.
That's definitely a great thing for today's world. Censorship is a bunch of bullcrap. So, yeah, man, definitely love what you guys are doing, and the fans are loving it as well.
Well, thank you very much, Seth. And before we go any farther, if you've not saw it yet, Dirty Dan and I, just a few days ago, did an interview with Seth on Seth's Daily Podcast.
We sure did.
And that was the only second time that we've ever done an interview. And that was the first time that we ever got kind of personal, where we wasn't talking solely about UFOs or other strange events. We were actually talking a little bit about ourselves. So be sure to check that out.
For anyone that missed it, I'm a Leo in Cancer. I'm 30 years old, and I like long walks on a moonlit beach.
But again, Seth, I want to thank you for having us on. That was a lot of fun, and we look forward to doing it again.
Heck yes,
absolutely. Be on the lookout for October.
Yes, definitely. The next email is from Mothership. Goose and Dirty Dan, this is my first time writing in. I've listened to the show since January. I just wanted to share this with you and the rest of the Here to Chew Bubblegum family. I hope that you guys and everyone are well, and to let you guys know that you're always in my heart. Roswell. Well, thank you very much, Mothership. That means a lot to us.
We appreciate that more than you know.
Yes, we do. Dirty Dan.
Mr. X from Planet 9.
Hello, Mr. X. He's wrote in before.
Yes. Well, so his last name's Sloan.
Yes, he has.
But in your opinion, what cell phone would be better for taking pics of the sky in the daytime? An iPhone or Samsung? Well, I personally have an iPhone.
Uh-huh.
I personally had 43 iPhones.
Okay.
And one Android. And that that first Android didn't even make it out the store before I smashed it in my hands.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
because it's not what I wanted. I wanted a flip phone.
Well, then why don't you just
Homeboy-
turn it back in instead of smashing it?
Nope. So this is how it went down, right? As you know, Goose, I am not easy on phones.
Right.
This is back when I had Verizon, and I had the Boulder G Zone or GZ1 flip phone, the orange looking rock thing.
Gotcha.
And I had my Nextels. Well, my Boulder got a little hot in a fire, and had to take it in because it didn't work. All the keys were melted together. Exchanged it, and homeboy trying to pull one over on me and get a commission gave me the slickest, most newest, expensive phone he had. That happened to be an Android. Touchscreen.
Okay.
Never used one before. Didn't even have an iPod Touch at this point. I was
Okay.
still living in my flip phone stone age. I said, I want the phone that I brought in. I have a warranty on it for a reason. I'm not paying you $300 some odd dollars extra for this phone. That's not what I asked for. Well, you have to wait for my manager to come in then if you want to do this refund. I'm not doing it. I said, okay, I'll wait. When's your manager coming? Well, he comes in on Wednesday. It's Monday, by the way.
Right.
I said, if you want me to wait, then I will literally wait here, and you will have to call the cops to have me removed when you try and close your store, because I'm not leaving until you put the right phone in my hand. He goes, it's a perfectly working phone. And I said, no, it's not. I want my phone.
Well, what happened then?
I was removed from the store.
I would say so. Seth, what's your opinion? The best phone to take a picture of the daytime sky, an iPhone or a Samsung?
Oh wow, that's a very good question, man. I mean, honestly, if you want me to be 100% honest with you, I love Samsungs but I also love iPhones as well, man. Honestly, probably an iPhone, just to be 100% honest with you.
I mean, I got this 12 Pro Max. Like,
Uh-huh.
I finally have a current phone model.
Yeah.
Like, I got it when it was still current, not, 4 models behind.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, I wish I would have gotten over my no home button thing earlier, because the quality on these pictures
Are
is
that good?
absurdly astounding.
Right. Well, I've got an iPhone XR, the one with the long-lasting battery. That's the reason. I mean, mine's a few years old, but all I've ever had is an iPhone and a Motorola Razr. So, I mean,
You had a Razr?
Yes.
You would.
Dude, those were like the best flip phones ever. Those were indestructible. No. Yes, they were.
Every one of my Nextel phones has been a flip phone.
No.
And they have been indestructible. I dropped one 85 foot, and it still worked.
Yeah, but I didn't want to pack around a rock in my pocket. That's why I had a Motorola flip phone.
Yeah, but see, I'd have broke that just putting it in my pocket. I'd have sat down and it would have gone crunch.
Well, so that means your booty's too big.
I don't have a booty.
Oh, okay. We're going to go on to the next email. Mr. X from Planet 9.
I already read that.
Yes, I was going to say thank you.
Oh.
And Dirty Dan votes iPhone. I vote iPhone. And what did you say,
That's
Seth?
iPhone.
Did you vote iPhone as well? Okay, and Seth votes iPhone as well. So from all of us here at Chew Bubblegum, we go for iPhone.
Rebecca would say iPhone as well.
Okay.
So unanimous iPhone, that means go for a Samsung.
Okay. The next email is from Reed. Hello, Goose and Dirty Dan. I've been watching some shows on Amazon Prime, and I have come to the conclusion that I hate that one show, Paranormal Fact or Faked. They spent the entire show coming up with ridiculous explanations for ghosts and UFO stuff. Have you saw it? If so, what are your thoughts, Roswell? Seth, let's start out with you. Have you saw Paranormal Fact or Faked?
No, I never had, but if you watch a lot of these, what's that?
Don't waste your time then.
Don't waste your time, yeah. But yeah, man, if you watch a lot of these ghost hunting shows or even Bigfoot shows, they're going to try to get the best entertainment value, so more people will watch. It's not going to be about great evidence. It's just going to be more about entertainment.
I had not heard of this show to this email. Now, I had heard of the old Fox show, Fact or Fiction. I used to love that. I don't think this is the same thing. I have never saw this. So is it not worth watching?
Well, Reed, hello again. Thank you for writing in again. And I cannot agree with you any more than exactly what you said. It is junk.
Okay.
It is junk.
Well, I am not going to waste my time on it.
I think I made it to the 11-minute mark before I literally chucked my Apple remote across the room and said, "This is BS. I'm done."
Well, this has nothing to do with fact or faked. But if you are a fan of The Office and you love vampires, werewolves, be sure to check out What We Do in the Shadows. I have binge watched that.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh,
text that to me.
I definitely will. It's on Hulu, and it is a great show. Seth, have you saw that?
What is the name of it?
What We Do in the Shadows.
No, I've never seen that.
Yeah, it is definitely good. Dirty Dan, I would definitely text you that. Go ahead and read the next email. Dirty Dan.
All right. We got Jimmy writing in. It says, "Hey, here to chew bubblegum. I love the Roundtable show. Can't wait for part 2. The ending, what climactic. Keep the ear candy coming, Roswell."
Yeah, the ending on the Roundtable show last week, I ended it where we got disconnected at, and the part 46 is up now. It dropped at 4 o'clock, and I just realized that when you read that email, it's almost 6:30 now, and it's been 2 hours since that's dropped. So, and normally I would have posted on Facebook by now. Hey, the episode's up and dropped. Sorry about that. The last email is from Heather. Could you, or maybe a future generation of yours, one day share living space in the same dwelling with an alien, like having an alien not of this earth as a roommate? Look at the imaginary vision for a moment. Could you and would you? As long as they were nice and peaceful to me, absolutely. Dirty Dan, what about you?
I mean, if it was an iRobot situation,
She didn't say robot. She said alien.
I said iRobot situation. Like if it was going to be that dynamic. But
Okay.
If we were of equal terms and equal space, and if the relationship or boundaries were established, I would absolutely do it. As long as he didn't mind or she didn't mind, whatever, it didn't mind my morbid curiosity. Yeah, I'd absolutely do it. I would. I definitely would. That'd be awesome. But who's your roommate? I got an alien, bro.
Seth, what about you? Could you be a roommate with an alien?
I guess it would be. I had this guy named Don Neal who is part of the Kentucky Bigfoot organization, and he believes that there is good Bigfoots and bad Bigfoots, just like humans. I guess they believe that Bigfoot is kind of half human and half ape. But if alien is, some of them are nice and some of them are evil, just like humans, then I mean, living with a good alien wouldn't be. It would be just like living with a good human, in my opinion. Yeah.
Know, should we phone in Rebecca for this? 'Cause, I mean, she lives with a half Bigfoot human.
We will have to save that email and do that in a future show. I want to thank everyone for writing in. You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail by calling 606-373-3396. That's 606-373-3396. Dirty Dan, how can they email us?
Well, they can email us at goose@heretochewbubblegum.com. They can email me, Dirty Dan, at heretochewbubblegum.com. Or they can email Rebecca at heretochewbubblegum.com.
Yes, they can. Thank you very much. We're going to go right ahead for some science and tech news. I'll start out this segment, if that's all right with you.
Hey, buddy, why don't you start out?
Okay, thank you very much. I think that I will start out this segment.
That sounds like a good idea.
Dirty Dan and Seth, if you have any questions, just interrupt me, and we will debate about it. First, Seth, what kind of laugh was that?
I think Seth just went where I went, and I thought to my head that we're all going to be master debaters.
Yeah. Well, Seth Seth kind of had like a Dr. Evil laugh going there, didn't you, Seth?
Yeah, absolutely. Just as long as it's not a Chanel West Coast laugh, I'm good.
There you go.
Oh gosh. Oh Lord. Oh, that chipmunk. No, I can't get it out of my head now.
First in science and tech news, a new planet. Could a new planet be discovered? A new study reveals the high probability of a ninth planet in the solar system. According to astronomer, let's do that again. According to astronomer Michael Brown, Planet 9 is expected to be many times the size of Earth and orbit the sun far beyond Neptune. Had you guys heard about that?
I did. I actually found a pretty interesting article on it this morning.
Did you really? Does it go in depth more than what I did?
Well, you know what? Let me pull it up here.
Seth, had you heard about that?
How long ago was this?
That was this week.
Oh, I heard about a new planet being discovered about 2 years ago.
Yeah, this one was on Thursday because I just pulled all these stories on Friday, so they were all.
Aren't they calling it Planet
this week.
9?
Planet 9, and there's actually an old movie, Planet 9 from Outer Space. So that's a really good movie. While Dirty Dan's looking for that, I'm gonna go on to the second story a little bit. Physicists say that the fifth dimension could be on the horizon. Our understanding of the universe might need a reset. Scientists often get asked if they do new experiments in the lab or keep repeating the older ones that they know the results for sure. While most scientists do the former, the progress of science also depends on doing the latter and confirming it with what we believe we now know holds true light in the new information as well. When researchers of the National Institute of Standards and Technology looked at the structure and properties of the much-studied silicone, again in the new experiments, the revelations shed light on a possible region for finding the, quote, fifth force. This can help us now improve our understanding of how nature works, says a press release. To make sense of the world, simply all we need are three dimensions of space: north, south, east, west, and up and down, and one dimension at a time, past, future. But as Albert Einstein suggested in his theory of gravity, mass warps the dimensions of space-time. Apart from gravity, the only electromagnetic force that was known in the 1920s, Oscar Klein and Theodore Kolzman proposed the fifth dimension theory to explain the forces of nature on BBC's Science Focus Explains. Fifth dimension. If you guys could go into the fifth dimension, would you go, Seth?
Yeah, it can't be any worse than here.
Wanna bet?
What if you couldn't come back? Would you still go?
Oh man, that changes a lot.
Here is the scenario for both you, Seth, and Dirty Dan. And Dirty Dan, we've talked about this a little bit before, but we've not talked about the fifth dimension. You know that you can access it. That's all you know. You don't know if you can come back. You don't know what's over there, but you know you can go through. Would you go now?
No.
Dirty Dan.
I would, as long as it's not going to be a Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote situation where I can watch someone else go through and then bam, I hit a feet.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I would.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, if I knew I could come back, and we've talked about this before, I definitely would.
Finish that sentence.
What's that?
Finish that sentence. The whole Great Awakening thing.
Yeah.
Ascending to 5D.
Yes.
All right. We're all on that path.
Yes, we are, but I'm talking about stumbling upon a fifth dimension that you could access.
That is the fifth dimension.
Right. I'm talking about I'm out in the forest, walking alone.
And you climb up a set of random steps that lead to nothing, and then bam, you're in a fifth dimension.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I'm going to run into a wall, man. I don't know. That's my luck. I feel like I'm just going to get coyote right in the wall.
I'm not going to read all this next one, but I want your guys' opinions on this.
I did find the article.
Okay. Go ahead and share that article with us.
Okay. So, it's a new ultra-hot Jupiter exoplanet is what they called it. International team of astronomers has detected a new ultra-hot Jupiter extrasolar planet using NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite, TESS. The newfound alien world is nearly 2 times larger than Jupiter and has a misaligned orbit. The finding is detailed in a paper that was published officially August 25th on the ARXIV preprint repository. The so-called hot Jupiters are similar in characteristics to the solar system's biggest planet, but have an orbital period of less than 10 days. Such exoplanets have high surface temperatures as they orbit their parent stars very closely. Now, a group of astronomers led by Samuel H.C. Cabot of Yale reports that finding of a new exoplanet of this type, which turns out to have an ultra-high surface temperature, while observing a bright star in our galaxy designated TOI 1518 with TESS, a transit signal was identified in the light curve of this object. The planetary nature of this signal was confirmed by the follow-up high-resolution observations with the Express spectrograph at the Lowell Discovery Telescope. So basically what they're saying is there's another star in our solar system that's not the sun that has other planets orbiting around it. That is a super sped-up version of ours.
So there's another solar system in our solar system that's moving faster than ours is.
Yes.
Do you think the planet could be Krypton?
No, it's way too hot.
Well, that would be really great if it could.
It's got a temperature of approximately 7,300 Kelvin.
Oh, that's
2 times larger than our sun.
Man, you put a little sunscreen on, you'll be fine.
Yeah, XPF or SPF 5000.
Oh, Seth, what's your take on that?
Man, I mean, there's a lot of evidence of, wasn't there evidence of, like, life on Mars and stuff, or was that just a conspiracy?
Well, that's a very, very interesting question, my friend. I actually have a story. I'll just go ahead and skip to this story since you brought that up. NASA collects Mars rock samples in historic first for Perseverance rover. Pencil-sized samples were placed in airtight tubes and will eventually be brought back to Earth for analysis.
They hope.
What's that?
They hope.
Yes. NASA's Perseverance rover has successfully collected 2 samples of Martian rock and sealed them in an airtight titanium tubes for eventual return to Earth. Agency officials hailed the accomplishment as a milestone in search for evidence for life that might have existed on the red planet billions of years ago, when Mars is believed to have been warmer, wetter, and more hospitable. Dude, I get so tongue-tied sometimes. World. Anyway, the rover's first collection effort failed last month when a sample taken from another site crumbled before it could be placed in the collection tube. That's a sad day. Very sad day. Okay. Seth, you opened up this can, so this is for you. You guys buckle down and get ready, okay? How do we know, honestly, let's start with this question, that the pictures that they have sent back are actually pictures from Mars? In that case, how do we know that pictures they've supposedly sent back from any planet's surface are the actual pictures? There is no way to know that. Just because they put that out there and they said, hey, this is what Mars looks like. Hey, this is what Pluto looks like. Hey, this is what Neptune looks like. There's no way to know it because NASA has the technology and have for years to refurbish, airbrush, take out whatever they want to. So you do not know if that is a legit picture. Now, and I don't have this story in front of me. There's actually I came across it on TikTok. There's a guy, or it might have been YouTube. There's a guy that supposedly has access to powerful telescopes that lives in the United States on the western coast that has tried to share pictures of Mars, and they've always got taken down. Now, The pictures that he shares mostly are what you see, a red planet. But there's one section of Mars that appears to have trees and lakes and so forth on it. Seriously. I will send you that video. Dirty Dan?
Did someone forget to put the green screen overlay in it?
No. This guy does not work for NASA. This is his own thing, and it definitely, and it's not a big forest, but there is enough trees to create a forest.
Just little bush, not big bush?
No, I'm talking about trees. Let's say the whole area.
I have to see it.
Let's say the whole area is all right. You have to see it. Why? Because you've been brainwashed to think that what NASA's put out.
No.
is,
You
okay.
know that's not true.
Right.
I want to see it for myself before I form an opinion on it, not based on what someone else is saying. No
Okay.
offense to you, Goose, but I'd like to see it.
Okay, Seth, what's your thoughts on that? Do you believe that NASA has accurately put photos of everything that they've? Do you believe the photos that they post are real?
I'm with Dirty Dan. I would have to watch that video and stuff to form an opinion on that. But I will say this. There is evidence that NASA has faked the moon landing, but that's a whole entire different topic.
Yeah, it is. You brought up another rabbit hole. Dirty Dan shaking his head. I don't know if it's been faked. First, I'm going to say I think we landed on the moon. How long were we there? I have no idea. I was actually watching something on Netflix last night that was talking about the moon landing and stuff, and we'll discuss this in another episode. Let's just say that after they landed, let's say first that I believe that the live feed, quote, live feed from the moon, I don't think it was live. I think there was a delay. And shortly after they landed and walked on the moon, there was supposed audio problems or camera problems where NASA said the camera's overheated. And you can go look this up. That is true. NASA did state that the camera's overheated. But you have a lot of ham radio operators that heard the astronauts talking about, what is that over there? There's other ships watching us. And they switched channels to the medical frequency, not the main feed, to discuss this. Had you ever heard that, Seth?
Yeah. I've heard that they actually seen aliens and stuff.
Yeah. And that's what I'm getting to. There was several ships. There was even structures that they saw.
Let's not forget about the dark side of the moon and the 33rd degree Masonic ritual.
And yes, you are correct. And when they landed on the moon, they actually overshot where they were supposed to land at.
Which is why they encountered some stuff they weren't expecting.
Exactly. And that cost them a lot of fuel and stuff as well. So.
And let's not forget that space is extremely cold, right?
Yes. That is what they say.
So, it's been recorded due to, some of our stealth and reconnaissance aircraft being up so far. If it's so cold, then how can a small electronic power device overheat without being too close to a very extreme heat source of something else already there?
That's a good question.
Go ahead, I'll wait.
I have no answer for it. We're in radio. They hate dead air. So. Dirty Dan, I'll let you continue on with your story.
All right. Well, we're going to switch keys here a little bit.
Okay.
And it's researchers reveal key discovery in Bermuda Triangle wreckage. It has a story to tell. A new History Channel documentary reveals an important discovery in a 76-year-old mystery involving 5 aircraft, 14 airmen who disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle. It's a mystery that has endured for 76 years in a fabled area that many sailors and aviators have long said contains supernatural forces we don't understand. On December 5th, 1945, 14 airmen flying 5 World War II torpedo bombers called Avengers took off from a naval air station in Fort Lauderdale on a routine training mission over the Bermuda Triangle and were never seen again. The U.S. Navy even sent a Martin Mariner search plane out at the time to find the missing aircraft, and that plane and its crew of 13 also disappeared. A new scientific investigation into the mysterious disappearance of the aircraft is the focus of the History Channel documentary, History's Greatest Mysteries, narrated by Lawrence Fishburne, that will air next week. Or, well, this week.
Right.
Harry Sanders got a preview of the documentary on today, Tuesday, as the mission's lead underwater explorer shared findings from the year-long scientific mission in the Bermuda Triangle, an area off the coast of Florida that extends southeast of Puerto Rico and north to Bermuda. As they were searching, they came across a weird screen on sonar, and they started trying to figure out if that looked like a turret. Emotions were running off the chart suddenly. Could this be an Avenger? It in fact was the wreckage of one of the Avengers, leading to the question of whether it's an Avenger from the mysterious Flight 19 that disappeared, or a different one. And that's a real question, Barnett told Sanders on today. We don't know yet, because a lot of people don't realize that there are hundreds of aircraft lost on this coast off of Florida. This potentially might not be one of the Avengers from Flight 19, but it still has a story to tell. And knowing what this aircraft is, we know where the Flight 19 isn't. Since 1930, more than 325 planes and more than 1,200 ships have disappeared, crashed, or sunk into the Bermuda Triangle, which is an area roughly the size of Alaska. Sailors and aviators have often speculated over the years that Bermuda Triangle contains inexplicable forces that could potentially mean the presence of extraterrestrials, which Barnett is not buying. However, there are undetermined sourced radio waves or radio frequency waves coming from that area. He believes, however, the wreckage of Flight 19 is out there, but not that the ship went down for any reason straight out of the Close Encounters of the Third Kind. However, there's no evidence to disprove that otherwise. Not one bit, he told Sanders. I rank it with the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy, although I can't prove those are not real either.
Oh. Yeah, well.
What do you think about the Bermuda Triangle, Bruce?
I think that something is definitely up there that we've not been able to explain yet, because there's too many things that have happened in that area to be a coincidence. What about you, Seth? What's your thoughts?
Man, if you look back on how many ships have gone missing in that area, I mean, dude, there's never been a ship that's been in that area that's came back, has there?
No, there's never been one come back. I mean, and
that's not true. I've been in it.
Okay. Well, yeah. And I was getting ready to say, you do have some ships and planes that do successfully go through it, but you have others, the ones that have, like Radio Mayday, have never been recovered.
Every disappearance has been during a certain condition around a similar time and a similar time of year.
Really? So they all happen at the same time of the year, disappearances and so forth.
There's 2 times of the year when, and it's actually from everything I've read, it's EMF or electromagnetic frequencies that are coming out of there. So if you have EMF, I mean, that's what they're literally using as weapons in the military, are focused and supersonified EMF waves through that the LSAT or LSAR. LSAT, that's what it is. LSAT machines. It disables any control or control module. It will literally burst the eardrums out of anybody, and they can turn it up and they can change frequency waves from like 4 gigahertz to like 1400 gigahertz.
Wow!
So I mean, it's everything from something that we can't hear that's enough to make ripples in the water, all the way up to above a dog whistle. And it can be heard for miles and miles and miles because they focus the beam of it. So if they have that technology, that means they got it from somewhere. They learned how to get it from somewhere.
Well, yeah. And I mean,
if you have all these very, very strong EMF waves that literally, it's been reported that all of a sudden all the controls are just dead, or all like your altimeter gauge and your fuel gauge and your speedo gauge are just doing circles. Like something else out there is controlling the stuff. Something is jamming it, confusing it, doing something. And there's 2 strong points in every year. And that's for planes, trains, ships, automobiles, whatever the heck finds its way out there is what it gets affected by it.
Right.
And at that same time, there's extreme storms, and you have 3 different currents there. you have the Gulf Stream coming up to one side, pushing it up there. You have it coming off you have all the hurricane systems and whatnot coming down and across. And then you have, it's like a circle. It's like one of those circles you almost see and that just randomly open up in the water. You got that giant vortex there. And a lot of the wreckage they found have all been centralized. The whole Bermuda Triangle is the size of Alaska, but most of the stuff is focused almost in the focal point of that triangle.
Well, let me ask you a question. Something just dawned on me, and I want yours and Seth's comment on this both. I wonder, and I've never looked into this, if there was anything mysterious or went missing in the Bermuda Triangle before the Roswell UFO crash.
It's been noted since the 1880s and 1890s.
Did it intensify or anything after the Roswell UFO crash?
I don't have any sort of number to show me exactly how long, or how many things on average. The last time I want to say there's like 120 to 140 vessels of some type that are deemed lost there every year.
Right. Well, we're going to take a quick break and come back. You're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum with Goose and Dirty Dan and special guest Seth from Seth's Daily Podcast. We'll be back in just a moment.
Are you a horror movie fan?
Yeah, I dig horror movies.
Are you searching for a great internet horror talk radio show to listen to?
Why, sure, that sounds quite spiffy.
Then you need to tune in to deadpit.com. It's the original horror talk radio show. Dead Pit is a show by the fans and for the fans. Uncensored and unbiased opinions are the goal of the show, giving fans honest reviews on new films and vintage classics of the horror genre. Make deadpit.com your #1 horror station destination.
When you want fresh, authentic Mexican food, you want El Picante in Coal Run. Dine on sizzling hot fajitas, the freshest pico de gallo, or if you're craving their secret ingredient jalapeno dip, the only place you'll find it is El Picante. Look, there are Mexican restaurants on every corner. The difference is in the mouth-watering food and the great service you'll get at El Picante in Coal Run. Visit El Picante for lunch today.
Hey everyone, this is Goose from Here to Chew Bubblegum. I want to tell you about my friend T-Shirt Joe at FastCustomShirts.com. T-Shirt Joe is your go-to guy for all your custom work. Also, you can check out their website and find artist originals, college shirts, comics, famous folk, fetish, military, movie shirts, occupations, podcast and website shirts, plus he has face masks and many other items over at FastCustomShirts.com. While there at their website, you can sign up for their newsletter. Or you can give Joe a call at area code 361-814-9212. That's 361-814-9212 to contact my friend T-Shirt Joe at FastCustomShirts.com.
Take a lighter look into the darker side of the world. Join Elliot, Gertie, and Beagle as they jump into the dark abyss of hauntings, serial killers, conspiracy plots, and beyond. The Spooky Family Podcast premieres July 1st, wherever you find and listen to quality podcasts.
Am I dirty? Am I ugly? Is my soul gone? Are you watching as I'm bleeding? Needles in my veins. Tell the story the way you know me, the way it should be. Close my eyes, let them rest now. for I'm not awake. And I wanted to be your friend. And you are so far away. You that numb me, you that lost me somewhere far behind. Drive the roads, confess the ways, stones that are thrown. Indiscretion, indisposed of, feeling inside. The words you told me, the signs you showed me are too late. And I wanted to be your friend. And you are so far away. Hey, you all, this is Stone 11. And I just want to say thanks to each and every friend on MySpace for listening to this and giving us all the support and comments that you've given us. And this goes out to you, my friend. And I wanted to be your friend. And you are so far away. You are so far away.
You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail for Here to Chew Bubblegum at 606-373-3396. You can also send an email to goose@heretochewbubblegum.com, Dirty Dan at heretochewbubblegum.com, or Pup, Ned, or Elliot at heretochewbubblegum@yahoo.com. You're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum, recorded from a secret location in the city that moves mountains.
Welcome back to Here to Chew Bubblegum with Dirty Dan and Goose and me, Seth Amberg, the special guest.
Thank you very much, Seth. Thank you very much. I think Dirty Dan liked that because you said his name first. He's shaking his head yes on that.
Yeah,
Got the seal of
I
approval,
didn't
man.
make it.
You've done a great job, Seth. And we thank you for being on this episode with us. And Seth will also be on the podcast that is premiering now. So be sure to check it out, episode 47.
Heck yeah.
Dirty Dan, we're going to start out segment 2, and we'll probably combine segment 2 and segment 3 for sake of time. I'll let you go ahead.
All right. Well, in 3 short days from now, SpaceX Inspiration 4 mission will send 4 people with minimal training into orbit and bring space tourism closer to reality. On September 25th of 2021, the next batch of space tourists are set to lift off aboard a SpaceX rocket. Organized and funded by entrepreneur Jared Isaacman, the Inspiration 4 mission touts itself as the first all-civilian mission to orbit and represents a new type of space tourism. The 4 crew members will not be the first space tourists this year. In the past few months, the world witnessed billionaires Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos launching themselves and a few lucky others into space on a brief suborbital trip. While there are similarities between those launches and Inspiration 4, the mission is being paid for by one billionaire and is using a rocket built by another, Elon Musk, my mans. The differences are noteworthy. From my perspective as a space policy expert, the mission's emphasis on public involvement and the fact that Inspiration 4 will send regular people into orbit for 3 days make it a milestone in space tourism. The biggest difference, though, between Inspiration 4 and the flights performed earlier this year is the destination. Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic took, and in the future will take, their passengers on suborbital launches, meaning not actually space, just like the FAA said. Their vehicles only go high enough to reach the beginning of space before returning to the ground a few minutes later. However, SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket and Crew Dragon vehicle, however, are powerful enough to take the Inspiration 4 crew all the way into orbit, where they will then circle the Earth for 3 full days. The 4-person crew is also quite different from the other launches. Led by Isaacman, the mission features a somewhat diverse group of people. One member, Sean Proctor, won a contest among other people who uses Isaacman's online payment company. Another unique aspect of the mission is that one of the goals is to raise awareness of and funds for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. As such, Isaacman selected Haley, I can't pronounce her last name, a physician's assistant at St. Jude's and Children's.
I had never heard of that last name. That is fascinating.
It is. And she's going to participate in the launch. The final crew member, Christopher Sembrowski, won his seat when his friend was chosen in a charity raffle at St. Jude and offered a seat to Sembrowski. Because none of the 4 participants have any prior formal astronaut training, the flight has been called the first all-civilian space mission. While the rocket and crew capsule are both fully automated, no one on board will need to control any part of it for the launch or landing. The 4 members still need to go through much more training than other people on suborbital flights, though. And in less than 6 months, the crew has undergone hours of simulator training, lessons in flying a jet aircraft, and spent time in a centrifuge to prepare them for the G-forces of the launch. Social outreach has also been an important aspect of the mission. While Bezos and Branson's flights brought on criticism of billionaire playboys in space, Inspiration 4 has tried, with mixed results, to make space tourism more relatable. The crew recently appeared on the cover of Time magazine and is the subject of an ongoing Netflix documentary. There have also been other fundraising events for St. Jude, including a 4-mile virtual run and the planned auction of beer hops that will be flown on the mission. Sending a crew of amateur astronauts in orbit is a significant step in the development of space tourism. However, despite the more inclusive feel of the mission, there are still serious barriers to overcome before average people, in quotes, can go to space. For one, the cost still remains high. Though 3 of the 4 are not rich, Isaacman is in fact a billionaire. And he paid an estimated $200 million to fund this entire trip so far. The need to train for a mission like this also means that prospective passengers must be able to devote significant amounts of time prior to prepare, time that many ordinary people just don't have. Finally, space remains a dangerous place, and there will never be a way to fully remove the danger of launching people, whether untrained civilians or seasoned professional astronauts, into space.
Ta-da!
Would you go if someone offered you a seat?
Yes, I would. How about you?
Absolutely. Because Elon Musk is my man's, as you heard, and doesn't have phallic-shaped rockets and doesn't make a plane do the same thing it has done for the past 12 years. This guy's doing something. So,
yes.
Yeah, I'd happily participate.
What about you, Seth? Would you go?
Man, I don't know, man. That's a tough question.
You would go to another dimension, but you don't know if you go into outer space.
I don't know, but yeah, man. Because I'm just scared of heights, man.
I was just going to ask, are you scared of heights, Seth?
Yeah.
Hey, there is nothing wrong with that. That is a fascinating story. You know, we are in a technology boom age. I mean, this is a great time for technology and so forth in this day and time. Would you not agree?
Absolutely.
I 100% agree to that.
Moving on to moving on to secrets hidden in plain sight, and I'm going to go over a few of these, and you guys please comment on them after I get done reading about them. Gustave Eiffel's private apartment in Paris, France. On the 3rd floor of the Eiffel Tower, there's an apartment that belonged to Mr. Eiffel himself, where he greeted esteemed guests, including Thomas Edison. Today, the room where Mr. Eiffel and Edison met have mannequins of them, and this is open to the public. Did you know about that?
I had no idea.
Me neither. What about you, Seth?
No. That's definitely interesting for sure.
Okay, what about this one?
Wait, now, Goose.
Yes.
I got a question for Seth.
Okay.
Since you're scared of heights, would you go sit with the mannequins instead?
Nah, man, because watching Ghost Adventures and stuff, you see them dolls that are haunted, man. As a former ghost hunter, Man, hence the word former. There's a reason why I'm a former ghost hunter.
All right, Seth, I've got another question for you closer to home. I assume, being from Knott County, you've been to Kings Island, correct?
When I was a little kid, yes.
Okay. Did you go up in the tower at Kings Island?
Absolutely not.
Okay. What is your favorite ride at Kings Island?
Man, I don't even think I rode any rides, man. I was like 4.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Back when I was a young boy.
Do you like popsicles? I've got some in the cellar.
You want a pop?
Come back here, Chris. Floor 103 of the Empire State Building in New York. Everyone knows that there's an outlook platform on floor 102 of the building. However, you can enjoy the view from the 103rd floor too, where there's a small room with a low balcony. It's only open for staff and VIPs. Did you know of that?
I did.
Okay.
I did actually know that.
I did not. What about you, Seth?
No, I had no idea.
All right. And last on this list of secrets hidden in plain sight, the Cave of Evil Spirits at Niagara Falls in Canada. Down the road from the waterfall, there's a small cave of the evil spirit. An Indian legend has said that for many years ago, an evil spirit became trapped in this cave. From then on, everyone who visited would be cursed with a life of misfortune. Visit this secret place if you dare. Ha 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 ha. Did you all know of that?
I'm pretty sure Rebecca's actually told me something about that because she used to drive to the reservation to get smokes because they're like $20 a carton.
Right. And
because her family's from Diet Canada.
Right. Right. So so she's been to Niagara Falls. Do you think she's ever been to the Cave of Evil
I've
Spirits?
even been to Niagara Falls. I mean, they stopped me from going down the falls on the barrel, but I've been there.
Oh, okay. Well, man, they shouldn't have stopped you. They should have let you done that.
No, they said I'd have done damage to the falls when I went down.
Oh, okay. Got you. Well, we're going to move on to segment 3 and discuss this, and then we'll probably wrap it up a little bit. Coming up in the future on the radio show and podcast show, we will have a new segment entitled Believe It or Not, and not is spelled K-N-O-T-T, with Justin Perkins from Talk Junkie and myself. And basically what we're going to do on this, we're going to take a story each week. We're going to discuss it. And some stories Justin won't believe, and we will disagree. And at the end, we're going to try to sway one another, and we will rate these stories. Again, that is Believe It or Not, spelled K-N-O-T-T. Yes, Dirty Dan, you have a question? Please tell the rest of the class.
You know, I almost feel like I should be involved in that, and I should be the proctor. And it should be up to you two to say whether you believe it or not and to try and persuade the other. Because then both of you are completely blind about it.
Why is that?
Well, if you aren't the one reading it, you don't have any idea. So if you think it's true and Justin wouldn't, you have to get him to understand and believe and hear where you're coming from and persuade him. All the while, it could be untrue.
So you're thinking like a fact and fiction type thing.
Yeah, if you want, you're talking about fact and fiction earlier.
Yeah. Well, we may have to expand upon that. So,
and then I can use my corny dad joke segment as a prize for y'all.
Oh no! We're the corny dad joke segment will not be on the radio. That will be on podcast only.
No, I got a radio friendly one. Why didn't the skeleton cross the road?
Why?
He didn't have the guts.
Oh, that's terrible, man. That's terrible. Seth, what do you think about that joke?
Sounds like a joke that you definitely hear in Knott County.
Look, see, I'm already doing the job without doing the job.
There you go. Seth, did you get the tie-in when I said "Believe It or Not" spelled K-N-O-T-T?
Yeah, man, definitely about Knott County, and actually something that you should definitely have on there is, believe it or not, there is somebody from Knott County who had the #1 song in South Africa on the iTunes charts on R&B, and it was Tony Sloan. It was Last Kiss Goodnight.
Yeah, I tried to log into that last night, and I did for a little while until I lost. I was driving, and I lost service, so I missed it. So, but Dirty Dan, tell us about Adventures with Purpose.
Well, Goose, I'm glad you said something. So, I guess another little specialty that everybody on the radio can look forward to is that we will be meeting up with these guys in about another month and a half.
Yes, we will.
So, Adventures with Purpose, if you haven't listened to my spiel yet, you're going to hear it again. So I suggest you listen to it this time. Open up YouTube and type in AWP or Adventures with Purpose. These guys are a group who've officially quit their daytime jobs now and have devoted their entire, basically, lives to going out and taking their very reformed and refined skill set with underwater sonar recognition and diving and recovery, and they're traveling across the land, Kentucky included, in October, to help solve cold cases. They are helping to bring light to people, to families, to entire communities looking for closure. And they are doing this out of the good of their hearts, not being paid. They go by donations only. And that's all their gear. That's their very, very small RV. That's their trailer that Sam has required to be refinished because of some little accidents he had. But they they go around town to town, and if any of you listeners have someone or know someone or know of a case or family that needs help and closure, and it can or potentially could involve water, then go to adventureswithpurpose.com and reach out to Jared and Sam and Dan and let them know. Get in contact with them, and I know Jared will reach back out, but Sam might even. Someone will reach back out to you very quickly, and they will get on their way to setting up to come out to try and help you or them. Give them a like, give them a follow, leave a comment with that, or if you want them to reach out to you, again, Adventures with Purpose. Go to the website, adventureswithpurpose.com. Check them out, help someone out.
Thank you very much, Dirty Dan. I want to remind everyone that the new Midlife Crisis album entitled Have a Little Faith is now available on CD, USB stick, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, and more. Also, very special thanks to Carlin for all the voiceover work. Be sure to check out CK, Uncle Bill, and the rest of the gang over at deadpit.com. Don't forget about our friend Justin Perkins of Talk Junkie. Check out Down on the Holler with Jordan and Brad. And if you're in the mood for a daily podcast, be sure to check out Seth's Daily Podcast. And if you're into the spooky, weird, unexplained, or just all-around spooky people, be sure to check out the Spooky Family Podcast. Visit spookyfamilypodcast.com. And to awaken more, check out Rebecca Short on TikTok. Seth, thank you very much.
And Twitch.
And Twitch. Seth, thank you very much for being part of this show. Looking forward to having you on again. Do you have anything to say in closing?
I definitely want to give a big shout out to Goose and Dirty Dan for having me, and definitely check out our interview if you want to know them, like more about them and stuff. Because we really didn't even talk about UFOs and stuff like that too much. Like we mostly just talked about it like us as humans and stuff. Man, it's definitely a great interview. And then definitely subscribe to the YouTube and subscribe
and
to
Seth,
our Patreon as well.
Where can anyone find all your podcasts and interviews at?
On YouTube, on Seth's Daily Podcast, and then on Patreon, on patreon.com/Seth Daily Podcast.
And be sure to check that out. I thank you again very much, Seth, for being on. That'll do it this week. We'll see you next week. And until then, so long for now.
Maybe I'm not leaving. Maybe I'm just going home.
Thanks for listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum. Tune in next time as we dive deeper into things the government doesn't want us to know.